Hey guys, it's Shadow here. As stated by the title, let's talk about power level. It's something that's been on my mind a lot lately, and I'm kind of curious if anyone else feels the same way I do. Does anyone else feel like their power level in Destiny doesn't really matter? Or maybe it just doesn't make sense? No matter how high we climb, we still end up playing at a negative delta. So let me break it down for you if there's someone that's new. And I've got the portal pulled up here in the background so you can see what I'm talking about. At normal difficulty, we're at power. Activity power cap 10, combatant power 10. If you go to advanced, you're playing at a negative 10. At expert, it's negative 15. Master, negative 20. Grandmaster, negative 25. And at ultimate, we are at a whopping negative 30. So basically, the stronger we get, the weaker we get. Power level goes up, but it doesn't feel like we're getting stronger because every increase just means another deficit. So what's the point of power leveling? Power level doesn't make you stronger. It just gives me a higher power deficiency. It just unlocks harder difficulty. Think about Borderlands for a second. The enemies, yeah, they level with you, sure. But every time you level up, you get skill points. You build new synergies, you unlock new abilities, and you feel that power spike immediately. Each level up actually means something. You put your skill points in the right area, and all of a sudden, you're mowing through enemies like they're just cannon fodder. In Destiny, though, you level up, but your enemies basically keep moving the goalpost. So what should we do about power level in Destiny? What if, and hear me out, just spitballing here, instead of always playing at a deficit, what if we started to close the power gap the stronger we got? Or, and this might be a little bit more of a radical take, and I know it kind of is because I've already talked to a few people about it, and I've got many different opinions on it, so I'd love to hear you guys' opinions. Also, if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. I'm going to start posting more content more frequently. So hear me out on this one. What if we just did away with power level entirely? Well, picture this. Just stay with me here for a little bit. Picture this. What if at the start of Renegades, power level's just gone? You can jump straight into ultimate level content and start earning the best gear right away if you have the skill. Now, I can already hear you asking, but Brandon, what about the people who don't have the skill to run negative 30? And I hear you, dear viewer. We'll get to that in a second. Let's just say for a minute, this is how it goes down. The tiered loot concept. This is just an idea I have. Expert grants tier 1. We're just advanced, who cares? Normal, who cares? It's gone. Let's say at expert, or maybe it starts at advanced. I don't know. I don't know how this would exactly work out, but in just follow with me here for a little bit. Let's just go down this little rabbit hole. Let's say expert just gives you tier 1. Grandmaster or master gives you tier 2, grandmaster tier 3, ultimate tier 4. But wait, what about tier 5? Tier 5 should feel special, just like adepts used to feel. So let's give them the respect they deserve, and let's make them feel special. At each difficulty from expert to ultimate, and this is also where lower skilled players have their time rewarded. Let's say from expert to ultimate, there's a chance at tier 5 to drop. And that chance increases the harder the content gets. So if you're at like expert or advanced or, yeah, let's just say expert. If you're at expert, there's that slight chance at tier 5. But when you bump it up to ultimate, that chance gets bigger because we should be rewarded for our skills, but tier 5 still need to feel special. But then what about raids and dungeons? Tier 5 should be guaranteed if you have at least 3 feats active. I think dungeons should get the feat treatment. I think that'd be kind of neat. The activities, raids and dungeons are already time demanding and require teamwork. And let's just face it, we're adults, and a lot of the people we play with, it's hard to line our schedules up and stuff. So that time that we put in and the skill that we have to run those in-game activities should be rewarded. So I think at 3 feats, let's just go ahead and guarantee tier 5s. And for those who go above and beyond and do tier like 4 or 5 feats, give them special rewards. Give them the unique ghosts, the emblems, a cosmetic flex, something that says, yeah, I'm better than you. Check out my 5 feet ghost. I don't know. But let them be rewarded in a little bit of different ways. Or even better, 3 feats give you at least tier 4 with a chance at tier 5. And then at tier or at 4 feet, you automatically start getting tier 5s. And then at 5 feet, you get those special cosmetics, something that says, look at me, I'm better. I think this system would reward both skill and time. And here's why I think it works. If you got the skill, you can hop straight into the harder stuff and earn better loot faster. But if you don't, you can still grind the easier content with that slight chance at a tier 5. It might take longer, but you can still get it. And for events, give all events that Solstice treatment. +1 tier to whatever your normal drop is. So if you're currently grinding out Grandmaster, you're getting those tier 3s, now you're getting tier 4s. If you're doing Ultimate, you're getting those tier 4s, now you're getting tier 5s. They're events. They should feel special. There should be something to them. And Solstice hit that sweet spot. And just like in Solstice, if you're currently grinding tier 3s and getting tier 4s, if you get that, like the beach variant of the Yurtide Apex, you get the +2 treatment. Now you are, maybe you're only skilled enough to earn tier 3s regularly, but now because of the event, you just got a tier 5. That way, skilled players still feel rewarded because they can play the harder content. Casual players still have access to it. Everyone has a reason to log in and chase loot. The problem with tier 5s right now is I'm sitting around 510 power, and tier 5s are raining for me. And when I first got to that power, I think it was like 470s when they start raining. When I first got there, it was cool because I was finally getting tier 5s. But now that's all I get. And the content is not, I'm not rewarded for my skill. I'm rewarded because I put in a boatload of time to get to the higher power levels. But now tier 5s just don't feel special because they drop everywhere. So I think with a system like this, tier 5s would actually mean something and they would feel earned. I mean, during events, sure, tier 5s can flow a bit more for skilled players. That's fine. Skills should be rewarded. But I also believe if you've paid for the game, you should have some way to access all of its content, even if you're a little less skilled. Or maybe you just play Destiny as maybe you're not someone who's devoted your whole life to this game, which please don't devote your whole life to games. Play other things. It's okay. But anyway, getting off track. But if you have paid for the game, you should be able to access all of its content. And that's why I think even at the lower deltas, you should still have a way to have a chance to earn that top tier loot. I mean, think about like in Borderlands. You can earn a legendary right off the bat. I mean, one of the legendary shields that everybody says to farm for is in the very first boss of the game. And no matter what your level is, you can get that shield. Another little a bonus idea. That's kind of all my thoughts on the power level, but kind of a bonus idea. I want to talk about crafting, and I want to talk about armor. Vault Space stinks right now. It's poop. I used to love playing all 3 classes, but managing gear has just become an absolute nightmare. I'm the kind of person I like to have kind of one of everything, and I've found myself deleting weapons. It basically, if it's not a tiered weapon at this point, I started deleting it other than certain weapons that I just have a story with, like my Luna's Howl. I can't bring myself to delete it because every one of my friends and stuff we were playing during Into the Light, and Luna's was the weapon. I really wanted that hand cannon because it was solar. You could get hill clip in can. It's called Luna's Howl. The lore behind it's cool. So I'll never delete that gun. I don't care what. I'll delete my tier 5s before I ever delete my Luna's Howl. The only thing that would probably make me delete my Luna's Howl is if I got a tier 5. And even then, I'd probably still keep my original just because of the story that goes with it. So Vault Space sucks. We all know it. And managing gear has just become an absolute nightmare. So let's fix it. Let armor be craftable. Forget current crafting. They've kind of already moved past it anyway, so let's just move past it. Make armor crafting the focus. Let us build perfect stat distributions for our builds. Free up vault space, open up build crafting, and let the loot chase focus on what really matters, cool weapon and perk combos. That's one of the things I've always liked about the loot chase in Destiny, especially with the guns. Several of my guns, I feel like I have a story tied to them. So let the focus be on those. Let weapons be the main focus for the loot chase. Armor's the perfect playground for crafting. It just makes sense. It's customizable. It helps players feel in control of their builds. Anyway, I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole. Maybe we'll dive into that in another video, but those are just my thoughts on power level in Destiny. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Do you think this system would work, or am I just totally out of left field here and this is really goofy thinking? Let me know what you think below. And you guys know, as always, I love you. Jesus loves you. God bless. Y'all have a good one.